a shake up there on the first transmission. At about the hour mark, we had a knock at the door, and it was, you guys know, the minions of the Dark Lords is seeking to thwart my endeavor to transmit over the aether webs, as there is always one or two that crops up its nasty little head and wants to play. That's all right. I'm always down to play. I'm always up for the fight, especially when I've had a good night's sleep, which I have. And wow, look at that. It says that my battery is sufficiently charged. So maybe we can get down to brass tacks and have another transmission. Welcome, guys. This is a live Jive archive with your host, working from inside the temple today, Creator Francis Loomis Aristeas of the OTA, Pastor of the OTA. Make sure, guys, I've been asking everyone to go over to the Order of the Temple of Astarte, and I'll put it down in the comments below. I'll put it down in the description or the comment box below after this video uploads to the webs, and I'll put it on the last one too. But check out Poke Runyon's channel. I believe that Frater Sith Meth is the one running it, and it's only got like 7 videos on it, but he just released a really fun one for Hermetic Yoga. So if you haven't checked that out, get over there and check it out. Hit the thumbs up. Tell him Frank Monday sent you. All of that happy horse shit, and sub his channel. He's only got like, I, due to my suggestion, I pushed him over 100 subs. He had 99 subs for a month, and I subbed up from 98 to 99, right? And then when I recommended him on my channel last time, he jumped from over the 100 mark. So if a couple of folks could go over there and sub beloved Poke Runyon's channel, Order of the Temple of Astarte, 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 that would be fun. So do that if you can, and come back later and like and subscribe, all that happy horse shit. Welcome back to the temple, guys. We're doing a few impromptu tarot readings. So if you would like a card, put a question down in the box below here in the live chat in the ideas room, and I will do my best to get to you. I'm just doing single card readings. Can't read much from a single card, but it will give you a general overview of your situation, whether it be for good fortune or misfortune. All right. We must accept the response, whether it shows us good fortune or misfortune. I don't like this new little bag that I keep my cards in because it seems to put like little boogers on the sides of the cards. It's got some felt or lint or something in it. And so it's a little bit annoying. That's okay though. I'll have to find another bag, a lint-free bag for my cards. Just waiting for folks to get here. While we do that, I'll say a quick prayer to the divine creator of the universe. And if you know the prayer, please join me. Holy art thou, Lord of the universe, the vast and the mighty one, creator of heaven and earth, maker of all things visible and invisible, master of the light and of the darkness. We adore thee and we invoke thee. Send us one of your divine spiritual agents to guide and protect us through the innumerable snares of the earthly sphere, Malkut, Malkut, to protect and guide us through the innumerable snares of the earthly sphere, and send a cleansing wind to disperse all negativity and endless human opinion, which nearly obfuscates the subtle truth beyond recognition, but give us the power and fortitude to cut through the static and get to source. Subsisto fortis. We ask all of these things in the name of the divine, supernal triad, the Father, the Son, the Holy, divine feminine, high priestess, mother spirit, Bina, Hokmah, Keter, Tiferet, Geburah, Hesed, Og, Netzach, Yesod, Malkuth. So it is commanded and confirmed. So won't it be? All right. Yeah. So I've been looking over my personal birth chart recently, and it's got a nice little greeting here. It says, "Hi there. Here's the interpretation of the astrological chart that you asked for. Thank you for visiting our website, and you guys can visit me at www.buymeacoffee.com/Frank Monday for all the behind the scenes pictures and articles and other things of interest. This report was created especially for you. It represents your unique picture at the time you were born and the place you were born. If you are unsure of the exact time or date of blah, 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 you will notice that at certain places in the reading, our contradictory information seems to be given. This is to be expected because the personality of most people is extremely complex. For example, at times we are quite shy and at other times we are very aggressive. You will also notice that at certain detailed points in the reading, certain patterns may be repeated over and over, especially in a longer, more detailed report. This is also to be expected. This simply means that your horoscope has an extremely strong focus on this particular pattern, and that you should pay extra close attention to what is said about it. Now, on with your report. I won't bore you guys with the details of my report, but my three big ones are Sun in Pisces, Moon in Scorpio, and I'll not tell you my rising sign. But I've got other good stuff going on. Mercury in Aquarius, Venus in Aries, Mars in Capricorn, Jupiter again in Pisces, so I'm a double Pisces, Saturn in the crab, celestial crab. It also gives Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. Interesting one for my whole generation. Pluto is in Libra. And so it says, for my entire generation, this is a time of radical change in society's attitude towards marriage and interpersonal relationships. There's a general fear and awe at the power inherent in making emotional or contractual commitments. They will be in, they will not be entered into lightly. So Pluto and Neptune is all for an entire generation. And so we had Neptune in Sagittarius and Pluto in Libra. That's pretty cool. Pretty, pretty cool. So that applies to Generation X, not to millennials, I believe. I don't know though. It seems like Pluto's transit takes how long? I don't know. I could look it up. It's a pretty long one. I'm sure I can pull the information pretty quickly while we wait for more folks to show up in the ideas room. Good to see all of you out there, by the way. If you do have a question, just put it down in the live chat, and I'll take them first come, first serve. So whoever wants a one card reading, let me know. Um, how long is Pluto's orbit? 248 years. Wow. So I guess it's um, how long is Pluto's transit? Wow. Which sign is Pluto? Let's see how long it stays in a sign. In now. Pluto is currently in Scorpio, and I said for me it was in Libra. So it does transit out of signs faster than its orbit, which we said is near 300 years, right? So how long does Pluto stay in a sign? Look, it knows exactly what I want to ask. 31 years in each zodiac sign. 12 to 31. Oh, so it's quite variable, huh? What your Pluto sign means and how to find yours. It takes 248 years for Pluto to transit through all 12 signs. And as the slowest moving of the wandering stars, in the past 100 years or so, Pluto has only transited through 7 zodiac signs, a little more than half. Pluto spends approximately 12 to 31 years in each sign and takes about 248 years to transit through all of them. Let's ask the same thing about Uranus. Uranus takes approximately 7 years to transit through a sign. How about Neptune? Neptune takes about 14 years. How about Saturn? Saturn takes about 2.5 years. Next in line after Saturn would be Jupiter. Jupiter takes 12 years to travel all astrological signs, so a year each. After Jupiter would be Mars. Mars takes 2 to 7 months. And then next in line would be Earth, which takes a month, right? Approximately 1 year travels all 12 signs, so a month. And then Venus must be faster. Venus takes 2 to 3 weeks. And then Mercury would be the fastest, or the moon would be the fastest, I would imagine. Mercury takes 23 days. Hey, maybe that's where the 23rd current comes from. That's interesting. How about the moon? The moon is 28.5. 2.5 days. Oh, the moon takes 2.5 days. Okay, so the moon is the fastest. There you have it. Now we know. So concentric circles, right? Uh, if this is your first time tuning in to the Frank Monday Show, Francisco Mondasco. Who's Francisco Mondasco, Jeff? I'm not familiar with that name. I'm not familiar. Oh, that's me. Okay. Welcome back. Good to see you again, Jeff. We're looking through some tarot cards. We're talking shop. We're doing temple work. So let me know what you got on your mind, and I will get to it in due time. The channel has grown a little bit recently, guys. We've gone from 300 subs to 340 subs. So thank you for that. Whoever's new out there in Happy Land, welcome. That's my Mexican alter ego. Okay, good. I'm glad I have a Mexican alter ego. I appreciate the Mexican culture south of the border. Odele, amigo. Que onda, wey, vato? Tú es un, uh, tú eres un loco, vato. Rápido. Vámonos, rápido, way, amigo. Let's get the hell out of here. ¿Dónde eres, vato? Where are you from? Uh, I'm an Angelino, by the way. I'm originally from Los Angeles, California, but now these days I've been in Beijing so long, I kind of consider myself a Beijinger. But I also like to talk about, where my family was from 100 years ago, if not 600 years ago, and so on and so forth. So I like to have all of those currents running into me. It makes a person more complex and interesting. Yeah, I know a little Mexican lingo, vato, a little bit. I can speak with a Mexican accent if you like. It's going good, Jeff. Thank you for asking. Let's get down to brass tacks, guys. We've been looking into a lot of interesting topics recently here on the channel. Just real quick, shout out to www.buymeacoffee.com. And if you are not familiar with that website, you can get over there and I've got free publications, but I've also got a few publications that are supporters only. Like my most recent edition has been the old school FM radio transmissions. So I put like a dozen pictures of glamour shots of Frank Monday cruising around Beijing. So that's kind of a fun one. And then another article that is supporter only, so just a one-time purchase will grant you access to any of the supporter-only um, articles. I put the OG photos of the 100-day challenge. That's a free one. That's open to the public, so you can get over there and check it out. It's got the basic meditation guide, which I'm very interested in spreading the word on good meditation practices. So if you are interested in the 100-day magical challenge and doing meditation and prayer and invocations and stuff, you can check that out. It's a really good publication. Let me highlight some of the better parts of it for you. So we've got the basic guide to meditation here. A pamphlet I put together about 10 years ago for a meditation class, an esoteric group that I was running here in Beijing for free. So the Taoist system of internal alchemy, quietude, stillness, and peacefulness are the ultimate goals of meditation. In the natural realm, most creatures meditate naturally, right? Most creatures meditate. The Taoists point out that only human beings are foolish enough to have forgotten how to meditate. My teacher encouraged students to watch a common house cat with its unblinking gaze, breathing rhythmically and erect with perfect posture. The Jiao De Qing explains that small children are more natural in this respect than adults, with deep breaths reaching all the way to the lower abdomen. So, for novice meditators, the first step is to return to this useful state of breathing. It shouldn't be said that we are going to learn to meditate, but rather that we will remember how to do so. Thus, at the beginning, it is useful to follow a method to establish a consistent practice of meditation. Pardon me. Let me check the ideas room here. Jeff says, okay, I gotcha. Well, you need to deal with that in your own good time, Monsieur Tiedrick. You should listen to my rendition of The Alchemist. It's in it's in the Magic 101 playlist. It's the first video in that playlist. So get in there and listen to that Lovecraft's story about the alchemist. That can help with any kind of demonic attachment to a family line. It can help break the chains of bondage. According to Taoist philosophy, the best motivation for learning meditation is no motivation. This key theme is present in most Taoist beliefs and practices. It is the concept of wu wei, or non-doing. It is more about not interfering in the natural processes and just letting them take their course. Yet some may have additional aims, such as increased stamina in sports or greater prowess in the boudoir. Others may be interested in the mystical experience or a deeper, more meaningful connection with their divinity, while there are also those that would like to have a higher command of their mental facilities and create change in life habits. These motives are useful as well, but they are subsequent to the simple idea of just doing it. All right. The levels of meditation can be divided into three for the sake of convenience. At the first stage, the adept seeks to communicate with the body and gain control of the breathing and mind. The goals here include building consistency and regular practice, controlling the breath, and achieving stillness of mind that is free of errant thoughts. Later, moving energy along the internal pathways will be the focus, and transforming these energies to higher and more refined states. Finally, connecting with the universal energy and developing the ability to issue energy for healing or self defense. and in some rare circumstances, actually altering one's destiny or that of another. So there you go, man. Meditation can help you break the chains of demonic infiltration, Jeff. There's no reason why you should be scared of it. There's a note on posture here. Good posture will help control most of the distractions. You should look that leaf over. Then there's another leaf on awakening the cauldron meditation. The basic meditation for beginners involves visualization, concentration, and absorption. Its purpose is to connect with the energy with the Dantian or elixir field located in the navel region. Familiarity with Taoist meditation and understanding the Dantians are prerequisite for these practices. So I used to teach that in class. I would directly show students how to connect with their three Dantians. But since this is just available in the public sphere now for free on buymeacoffee.com/Frank Monday, you can go check it out for yourself. It's got step one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine. I believe there are 9 steps in this document. Let me check to be sure. Boop. Yeah, 9, 10, 11. 11 steps, and then afterward you can debrief. So yesterday I put out a 20-minute video on basic Dantian meditation, and you can check that out. It's I think I named it. I don't know what I named it, but I'll go back and check. It's on the channel. It's available for free as well. Just go ahead and check it out. You might want to integrate it as a part of the 100-day magical challenge. Some people might feel like doing a 5 to 10-minute meditation every day is a little bit onerous or a little bit more work than they're willing to do. But let me tell you up front, magic is not for the lazy. You're going to have to find a way. That's the challenge. You're going to have to find a way to integrate consistently. You want to shoot for the same time every day as much as possible. Don't let yourself slack off. Only give yourself 1 day off in 10. So practice at least 9 consistent days and then rest for a day, right? And then fire it back up again. So for a 100-day challenge, you're looking for 90 plus days of consistent practice. All right. You're looking for 100, but you can take a few days off in between to journal and rebuild your general centering. Um, you might want to include a spiritual affirmation. I put one here in the document, so it's pretty straightforward. It's heaven and earth are the spontaneous manifestations of the subtle, wondrous universal law. As the original oneness expresses itself, gross and subtle energies become distinctly divided. My bodily cave is brightly illuminated by the mysterious light from the 3 sources, my 3 Dantian bridge points leading to immortality. The powerful spirits of the 8 directions conjoin my being with the true origin of life. A positive atmosphere has been generated and all negativity is dispersed. The universal breath of life is everlasting. I am at peace with the creative process of the universal expression within my life. So it is commanded and confirmed. So mote it be. Yeah, good magic, man. Monsieur Tedrick says, are you familiar with tourmaline? No, I am not. I don't know what tourmaline is. Jeff says, thanks, Frank. I can't say thank you enough. You are a godsend. Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate that, man. I like to think that I'm working at the front lines for the big man upstairs. Most definitely in my own quirky, unique way, right? We're all individualized, but working towards collective goals of societal stabilization and increase of the good in life for everyone, right? Raising a rising tide lifts all boats, as they say. Whoa! Something jumped out of the deck, man. Let's see what it is. Wow. A ace of swords just jumped out of the deck on the shuffle. Did you see that? It was as if a hidden hand reached in and pulled it out. So let's examine what the message of the root and powers of wind. This card represents the root and powers of the swirling winds. It's the sword, so it represents mental energy, the mental sphere, and this can be a lot of anguish and suffering for people, mental ideation, because when we when we break things up intellectually, when we dichotomize them, then we're examining in close detail various aspects of a thing. It can be good for analyzing and exploring in greater depth individual tasks and so on. But it has a cutting energy, right? So it can be harmful and painful. And sometimes examining things too closely can cause a lot of anxiety and grief for people, right? Sometimes just it's better to step back and look at the big picture. It's a mercurial force, right? So we see rapid communications taking place at this time. At the top, we see a crown, um, gar- garnished with a garland and a laurel. Then below that, we have three yuds on either side. So we see two separate triads, supernal triads manifesting, right? And it's a six, an energy of six, which is what? I forget, six and a seven, right? So there's some esoteric meanings there that I can't recall right at the moment. We've got a single hand emanating from a cloud bearing a sword. So think mental energies, um, projects in the mind. It could be that you have an idea, an incipient idea coming into being. Focus on the most salient one and get ready to see it all the way through because this is the start of a mental challenge, a riddle, the Gordian knot that needs to be sliced open, right? The landscape is one of high mountains in the background. And so imagine that open wilderness energy of the high mountains, and the hermit goes into the high mountains to seek solitude and peace and quiet for the mind. And it also has that representation of spiritual yearning, right? But at a mental level, an ideation level. So maybe um, an endeavor, beginning an endeavor in education or learning a new skill could be indicative here. So I wonder what it's trying to tell me and why the invisible hand of providence reached in and pulled it out of the deck. Let me contemplate for a moment. So when you do a tarot card contemplation ritual, you want to start with the relaxation ritual. Imagine that golden sphere of light coming up out of the earth, that tetragram energy, right? The tetragrammaton, the fourfold name of God, and its manifestation in a scintillating ball of golden light, embracing, encircling, encompassing the realm of Mount Guth down at the feet. So you've got that sphere halfway above the earth and halfway below the earth, and your feet are in it. And then you feel that healing, titillating, relaxing energy rising up, and then you'll move that golden ball of light with the mind, right? The eyes closed in a relaxed posture, natural rhythmic breathing. You'll move that light, relaxing each part of the body up from the feet. So up the feet, the ankles, the lower calves, into the knees, the thighs, the groin, the seat of the spine, on up into the lower dantian, the center dantian, the back, right at the center here at chest level at the off, where you've got the thymus gland, right? Pound it 50 times if you like each morning in order to stimulate vitality, youthful vigor. And then So once you've achieved this level, right, then you're going to manifest it into the hands and then bring it up the arms, right? So chest and then up the arms and then up into the neck and then surrounding the entire head. And each group of muscles, if you want to really get in depth in your relaxation, you'll want to tense and relax them. Tense and relax. Tense and relax. And that way you can really distinguish and discern between where tension is being held, right? You won't know what the tension is until you've tensed it and relaxed it. And that will also help bring the chi and the healing energy to each part. Once you've done all of that, then you bring that golden light forward, forward, shrink, 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 dissipate it right at the end of the nose, and then open your eyes briefly and see it. Fixation point directly in front of you. All right. Fixate and relax. 3 times, fixate and relax. Now you're ready after the relaxation ritual to jump right in and start scanning the card. So you'll scan from left to right or right to left, whichever you prefer, and top to bottom. Typically you want to go top to bottom, not bottom to top, because you're manifesting down into the manifest realm, right? So you want to follow the natural pattern of how energy manifests into our realm, the lightning strike, as it were. So you'll hold the card at arm's length, right? And then you'll look at it and scan it into memory as if you're scanning it like a computer scanner. But even deeper than that, you're letting all of the rods and cones on the eyes memorize the imagery in the card as you descend down the tarot card. So from left to right, I see a dark gray sky, right? So I can feel that this is, you know, it's not a bright yellow card, right, or a bright blue card. It's a dark kind of gray card. That gives you some indication of the mood of the card. Stormy times ahead, right? And then as I scan towards the right, I see the tips of the crown and the sword and the laurel on the right there. And I go back and I get the full crown embracing the sword. And then back again. So you're doing like half inch, little less than half inch sections, half inch swells, not about a half inch. Scanning again and again and again. And you want to do about a third of the card. Yes, make yourself one with the card. Imagine yourself in the card. Imagine what's happening in the scene before the card, before the picture in the card, right? This is a single freeze frame, but it's active, it's living. The hand has, right, there was a cloud forming in the dark sky over the mountains, and then this cloud, then the sword itself alone emitted with the hand, right? And it was just the sword. But then the crown came to settle on top, and the yuds began to manifest around it, right? The light emanating from behind. And then finally, the the placing of the laurel and the holly, I believe. I believe this is holly or mistletoe, and then laurel on the other side. These were placed one after another, right? Left to right. So imagine I'm saying, imagine what happens afterwards, right? So again, do about a third of it, scanning it, and then put it into memory. Make sure you closed your eyes and see it before you, and try to memorize all of the various aspects that you've already scanned into memory, right? Replay that left to right motion, 2 or 3 of them. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so I did about 5 scans on that pass. Then I'll jump back in there and pick up where I left off, make sure I'm correct, and continue scanning. All right, the top of the clouds, the tips of the flowers, the yuds coming into view, one set of yuds, cloud swirls, the hilt of the sword, the handle, right? The pommel, the guard, scanning. Now we're seeing the hand. We've got three yods. We've got the handle. We'll do a few scans, two or three of them, and then focus in memory. And I see all of that. The tips of the flowers, the cloud, the yuds coming into view, right? With more of the cloud, the hand and the hand guard coming into full view with like a cross, all right, a steel sword, the entire hand, the pommel of the hilt, the light emanating from behind, and pick it up one more time. This will be the third series of scans. We're at the hand there, the pommel at the bottom, the hilt, and now the tops of the mountains. Remember, these distant mountains are in the background. This hand emanating from the cloud is in the foreground. Scan. Now we have the title of the card, Ace of Swords, right? Brute and powers of swirling air. Scan, 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 scan. Close the eyes. Picture that last third, the bottom of the hand, the bottom of the cloud, with that. Now really project yourself into the card and that distant background imagery of the mountains and feel it. Feel yourself alive and on those mountains and in this scene and how that feels, right? You better have your robe on, man. It gets cold up on the mountains. You better pull that robe close. You can feel that wind blowing. You could see that sword manifesting in the sky with that brilliant crown. And there it is, man, that goal, that spiritual aspiration, that new mental endeavor you're about to embark on. Grab the sword, man. Put the crown on. Put the laurels around your neck and suck in that yud energy, right? Wow. That's a beautiful card. Beautiful talisman for a mental endeavor, guys. There you have it. So that's the tarot contemplation ritual, and the hand of providence brought forth that card for some mysterious reason. I hope it speaks to you, or I believe it was trying to speak to me. So I hope that you're all having a good time out there in the ideas room. Welcome back, guys. Monsieur Tedric's out there. Good to see you, Monsieur Tedric. I hope you're doing well. I'm sorry to hear about your thumb, man. Maybe that's some of the pain and suffering you've got there. That's a grievous injury that you sustained. Oh, the lover has come up on the cut like 5 times now. And ooh, remember 6 yods in the sword. So somebody's out there thinking about love. It's not me. It's one of y'all projecting your energy in. The hand of providence is warning you to not overthink it, man. Just get down to business. Yeah, good to see you guys. I'm glad you appreciate it, Jeff. Anybody else out there in Happy Land have a question for the divine great oracle of the tarot? Will it show us a major arcana or a minor arcana? A major lesson or a minor lesson? What does the tarot have in store for you, dear friend, dear wanderer? Yeah, I'm sending you healing vibrations for sure, Jeff. I even requested the divine guardian angels to facilitate and increase your healing. I'm gonna have one of these delicious luxury JP Farrells. Yeah, yeah. I've been back for almost another hour, Sandra. Um, I had a delivery guy at the door, and I had to deal with that, so I had to put the show on hold. Big questions like that, Jeff? Yeah, sure. Why not? Let me find a way to frame that. Um, Heaven and earth, divine spirits, and ancient masters, your son Jeff has a question. Should we be overly concerned with climate change going into the long, dark winter under the under the under the draconian tyranny of the New World Order? Is this something that the average man should focus on? Heaven and earth, divine spirits, and ancient masters, please respond to us through the system of the tarot. We will accept this response whether it shows us good fortune or misfortune. So it is commanded and confirmed. So mote it be. Let's see, Jeff. There's the cut. Ooh, and a card picked up and fell. So this is going to be a very prophetic card, and it's the final judgment. Wow. So there's going to be a revelation this winter, Jeff, in reference to climate change. Something dynamic is going to happen. We see Gabriel blowing the horn of revelation. There's going to be an opening, a second coming, even an opening of the one of the great of seven seals. So we may see something on a grand scale globally and internationally with climate change. Like, likely what's going to happen is huge prophetic global changes like floods, huge ice storms, giant outages worldwide. So yeah, it looks like the average man might be called back to heaven. So um, prepare for the worst. It looks like is Jesus will return. I'm not here to prophesize Jesus' return. No man shall know the time or the hour, but and that's not what it looks like to me. If there was going to be an appearance of a grand figure in the scheme of things, Sandra, it would not be the final judgment. The final judgment is just a powerful, world shaking revelation. So it could be that they roll out the UFO threat scenario with Project Bluebeam, like making lights appear in the sky and so on and so forth. Um, no, it's not a doom and gloom thing. It's just if um if there's a lot of if you've got a lot of evil on the side of the tally, right? So you keep a spiritual tally of the good things you do and the bad things you do, right? So if you feel like you have an excess of negative things that you've been doing, like slighting people, being lazy, engaging in decadence, then yeah, it's going to be your time of comeuppance. That will be revealed and you will be punished. But a, a good man must never fear evil, and nothing bad will happen to good people. So even if you lose your life, who's to say that's bad? Socrates says that might be one of the greatest benefits, to be alleviated from suffering and return to the heavenly realm. So if you're on the right side of the law, spiritual law, natural law, then you never have anything to fear from any great shakeup, right? So no, the angelic forces will always protect and guide you when you work towards goodness. So be right with God, check your spiritual tally. Look at your matrices of um, merits and detriments. And if your detriments outweigh your merits, then you had better contemplate what you're doing wrong in life. But if you're always the type of individual like me that's storing up merits and selfless service on a daily basis, cooking, cleaning, and selfless service to the family, then you have nothing to fear ever, you know. I'm the one that's been sweeping and mopping this floor for the last 25 years, you know. I'm the one that's been out there earning the salary and bringing it home and dispersing it among the family. I'm the one that's been getting up and getting the kids off to school every day. You know, I'm the one that's been out there battling in the world to um, to provide for my family and the stability of society in general. I've never tricked a single student. I've never done anything underhanded, um, ever, really. Maybe one or two little things in my life, but the amount of selfless service I've done, there's no reason I would ever fear the revelation and the last judgment. All right, I'm looking forward to it. Party time, crack open the sky. Show me the angels forthright blowing their trumpets. I will stand before the throne of God with my head held high, in humility, of course. But he will welcome me as a son, a son and daughter of the way. I don't fear the devil either. You don't scare me, you know? So, yeah, but there's going to be something big on a grand scale, Jeff. So be prepared for it. And like I said, have that balance sheet in order, because if God does call you to the world beyond, you don't want to be left lacking. You'll never regret the things you do, but you will regret the things you did not do. So tell your loved ones, on a daily basis, but especially now is the time to say thank you to them for all the good things they do for you, to and to chastise those who have done evil in the past, and to give them the wake up call. Say, hey, you know, there may not be as much time as you think. You had better fucking correct yourself, straighten up and fly right, because when the vast chasm opens up, it's gonna suck you down there if you're still being a shit bird. If you're running around and you've done all kinds of horse shit, injuring other people, then your day of uppance is coming. And so, yeah, people who are on the wrong side of the spiritual law should definitely be worried right now, because there may not be time with that last final judgment coming forward like that on a question like I just asked. There may not be time for them to repent. Yeah. So people like to think they've got all the time in the world, and they're like, oh, I can just repent right before I die and everything will be a-okay. Sorry, it's not the way it works. If it were, there would be no retribution, right? And there has to be that spiritual retribution. There has to be that hidden hand of the subtle arbiter within and without that will, according to the seriousness of the crime, devitalize the person's life and hobble all of their efforts. And ultimately, all they end with is death and then pain and suffering down in the depths of the fiery pits. I mean, you won't necessarily be stuck there forever, but you will definitely experience you will experience the share of misery that you brought into the world, right? It will be real. Atheists like to deny it. They're like, yeah, it'll never happen. And I could run around denying God and sowing mischief and engaged in sodomy and molesting children, high on drugs or whatever, and I'll never have to pay because there isn't anything but the right now. And they're only fooling themselves. That's one of the greatest human hallucinations, that there is no spirit world. They just turn their backs on it daily and then hope and pray that it's not real, right? But just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not surrounding you like a fish in water, right? Fish are in water and they ignore the water. They deny there is any water. They're like, what water? You know? And human beings are in the Tao, and some of them tend to deny it and say, I'm not surrounded by spiritual forces. Fuck that. I'm a man of science. And a real scientifically oriented man would be more like myself. You know, I'm not going to presume upon intellectual brilliance and uh, say that I know everything. I know there's a huge mystery that we're working through. All right. So that's the way it looks, man. Wow. Thanks for the question, Jeff. That's a powerful card. That's a major force. We don't have much control over it. Um, if you'd like to know what you should do at an individual level, I can tell you that too. Let me find out what I should be doing at an individual level to prepare. All right. On the cut, I get ready for battle. It tells me get ready to fight tooth and nail to feed yourself and your family. All right. That's okay. Yeah, you're welcome, Sandra. Thank you for tuning in. Get ready for some heartbreak, hardship. There's all kinds of negativity coming up now. That's why I don't typically deal with questions of the world. I deal with every single problem and thing as it comes to me. Yeah, good luck with that. Why would you be in hell unless you did something horribly wrong? He'll counsel you to endure your suffering until the time of release is upon you. But yeah, he's not gonna go down there and lift you out for no reason. Sorry, whether you have faith or not. When you've turned your back on him, your entire life or whatever, people like to believe into that fantasy, and it's a good psychological pacifier for them. Um, that's right. If you create a hell around yourself, Jesus ain't coming to save you. Sorry. So you had better work towards not doing that. All right, and keeping the balance sheet even in your favor. I know modern day Christians like to say it's through faith alone, but true faith is in doing those great works. If you really had faith, then you would feel the embrace of spirit around you daily, and you wouldn't behave like a criminal, and you wouldn't allow other people to victimize you and to perpetrate crimes against you and your family. And you'd work hard for the community. And each day you would wake up with the vigor and enthusiasm to get the great work done, you know? So saying that just articulating that you have faith or calling out to Jesus, that's not a true, that's not something real, right? You have to abide in genuineness, not in fantasy. And you shouldn't idolize him either, or any other spiritual force. Idolatry is a form of wickedness, but that's okay. A lot of people like to idolat idolatize Jesus Cristo. He forgives you for that, I'm sure. What can I do at an individual level, heaven and earth, divine spirits and ancient masters? Your son has a question. What can I do at a personal level in this general time frame? I will say 6 weeks of my area of direct control. What can be done to prepare for the long, dark winter? Just strengthen my relationship with my wife, I guess. We're looking at the Mercurial card of romantic bliss with the great lion, right? Winged lion. That's an angelic power there. It's a principality. Align yourself with through the alchemical marriage and kindness and seeing eye to eye, making good with your romantic partner. Then it gives birth to the caduceus. You see the caduceus in the background, the rising kundalini energies. So for me personally, it doesn't look like there's any trouble. Maybe on a global scale, there's going to be great shakeups, but for me, it looks like there's marital bliss and good, perfect yin yang harmony. So, like I said, I'm not worried about it. I know that my spiritual balance sheet is looking good. I hope yours is too. How we doing? Looks like we might have some activity over there in Happy Land. Yeah, I think my daughter's up, guys. It's getting close to noon. I'm gonna have to think about making these kids some breakfast. So I'm glad you guys had the opportunity to join me this morning for a little temple working and tarot readings. As always, it is my sincere wish that you are doing well and enjoying a good life. I do appreciate if you guys hit the thumbs up. That helps the channel. Like and subscribe, everything that works that way. Um, Keep in mind, you can get more detailed information on the 100-Day Magical Challenge by checking me out on www.buymeacoffee.com/Frank Monday. That's where I put some of the more secret documents and behind the scenes stuff. And yeah, I guess that's it for today. Let me thank the spirits. Thank you, Holy Guardian Angel, for guiding me in my dissertations. Vast and the Mighty One, thank you for your presence in the temple this morning. Everyone out in Happy Land, thank you for your presence here. Sandra Sue, Monsieur Tiedrick, Mimi, and others who joined in and did not say hello. Thank you for tuning in and your support. No, Jeff, I've run out of time, man. There's activity in Happy Land, and I have to keep that spiritual balance sheet. Um, I have to keep that spiritual balance sheet in order. So it's off into the abodes of the future for me, guys. I will see you all on those vast and distant shores of future endeavors. Until then, keep doing good magic as above, so below. From Twilight Zone, Old Peking, this is your host, Sir Francis Lunas Aristeas, past force of the OTA. Wishing you all a good day and 再见.